Well, I'll get started. If you guys are ready to hear me, then I'm ready to speak, I guess. Well, what do you guys expect to get out of today? Well, what I hope you get out of today is an opportunity to really build you as a real estate agent, or build whatever it is that you're up to, and be able to serve more and more people, because there's more and more options available through this program, HomeQuest Assistant. And I will share with you guys an opportunity at the end of basically to become a certified HomeQuest real estate agent. That's a new program that we're coming out with. It's basically to scale this program out, make it available to more people, because up until now it's only been available on a very private scale. It's been, and I'll tell you about that. So here's an overview. Looks like those are out of order. So why HomeQuest Assistance, the American Dream, American Dilemma, Americans need to get back in homes. There's some cool stuff in here just to give you a perspective on why real estate agents are pretty much can lead the charge in really shifting this economy. I mean, that's the way I look at it, and we'll talk about some reasons why and what happens when people get into homes. Talk about how the Assisted Home Purchase Program works, and what you can count on with the Assisted Home Purchase Program, and also how to be involved later on. And then we'll do some Q&A, so you guys will probably have a lot of questions. We'll do it in less than 90 minutes for sure. So why HomeQuest Assistance? For agents, honest truth is this: you get more commissions. And simply put, more buyers will qualify with HomeQuest Assistance than without. So whatever you've got right now in terms of qualified buyers, that's going to improve, as well as your ability to serve those that can't qualify right now, than it has in the past. It's a program that's not available anywhere else but here. And what we improve for you is that you can stand out as an outstanding buyer's agent. I mean, that's really what it's for. It's for buyers. And it will make sure that you've got a way to differentiate yourself in the marketplace, something that no one else can really offer, because it's not, you know, there's, how many HomeQuest Assistance agents do you know right now? 0. But I guarantee that the program itself, and people, there's some name recognition for Home Value Solutions is the originator of the HomeQuest Assistance program, and oddly enough, they have some name recognition among some people. We've actually found more people know Home Value Solutions than they know HomeQuest Assistance, which probably makes sense. So more people that have heard about Home Value Solutions, they've been around a bit longer. And this program itself will help build your own brand for yourself, build that distinction, bring more funding options to your buyers, more able to turn unqualified into qualified, effortlessly nurture your future buyers, and serve them while you sleep. And that's an important component, we think, to the program. It's something that served me over the years in using the program for my own work, is that it's helping people while I'm sleeping. I don't have to worry about it. You know, it's going to be working with people for 4, 8, 12, 24 months, and I know that they're still connected to me. They still are going to be attributing all their movement and their progress to me. And that's how the HomeQuest program is really set up to do. You can offer a valid means of down payment assistance, rent credit, and even work for equity, regardless of the home, regardless of the area, rent credit regardless of where they're renting. This is another really addition to the program, that it's a little tweak on programs that have been used in the past, but never in this way, because there's never been this relationship between the funding source and the training at the same place at the same time. We'll talk about that a little bit more. You can restore hope in the American dream, and you can be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. Deeper wise, just think about a family that you've worked with in the past, that after some time working with them, dreaming with them, that they really just couldn't qualify. I mean, think about that scenario. Think about the people that you love that might have gone through a foreclosure, a bankruptcy, or something to the same effect in recent times. And it just pulls at your heartstrings, doesn't it? For these families that you know are deserving of a home but can't qualify for a home. It's like, these aren't dishonest people. This is just a result of some dishonest circumstances or a market that they couldn't control, right? Nobody likes that. It happens. This program gives them a second chance. It allows them to restore their hope in their ability to be able to buy a home. And not only that, it actually builds some more things for them. We'll get into that with what the program offers. After as little as 3 months in the program, there will be funding offers. They'll have funding offers from investors that will be able to work with you again to find them the best home for their family available on the market. I mean, that's kind of how the program works, because this program is really focusing more on progress than past history. And that's a key distinction of the HomeQuest Assistance Program and its funding options than your traditional bank lending options. Bank lending, obviously you go to them and they've got their stipulations, they've got the past histories, they need all this documentation. That's not how HomeQuest Assistance works. It works on progress. It says you come in at A and you grow to B, we're seeing progress, we want to fund you, we're not going to wait 24 months, we're going to do it in 3 months. We're not going to wait 36 months or whatever the banks are telling you people, we're going to do it in less time. Because we're committed to the change in this economy, not committed to the past. We don't want to repeat the past. So, HomeQuest Assistance is not new. It began in 2002. During the fallout after 9/11, housing hit a slump and we created these programs for our tenants. And what we were experiencing at the time is that tenants weren't making their payments. And so we were sending them late notices and 5-day notices and eviction notices. And one day I just kind of sat there and says, I don't think they're suffering from more notices. That's not what they're lacking. They're not lacking in notices. Why do I keep sending them notices? What can I send them that might serve them? So with that in mind, I started calling them up, and calling up some of my own tenants and properties that I own, and saying, okay, what's really going on? I don't think it's just because you hate me that you're not making your payment. I think if you really had the means, you'd do it. And they say, yeah, we really would. So tell me what's going on. And when it all came down to it, what I found is that most people had some misunderstandings of how money worked. They were listening to the creditors rather than really listening to themselves and their own priority of needs. And when they did that, they would underride their own ability to pay for their own mortgages or their own rental payments. They'd get evicted, which then they end up losing their job because of all the stress. So they end up losing all the means that provided them the income that made their payments. So we started getting in, we started saying, okay, let's help them change their psychology to help them shift how they earn, how they think about money, and see if we can make a difference in their lives, and see if they'll make their rent payments, because that was obviously our incentive to start with. So we did funny little things. We'd even, they'd make a little bit of progress. We'd bring them a half gallon of their favorite ice cream and say, congratulations for moving that step. Next to us, we'd come over and bring them brownies. We'd do just little incentive things just to wake them up. Realize that this is the right track, rather than being in the negative side that's calling them up and yelling at them because they're not making payment. That positive reinforcement actually created a lot of cool stuff. The program was recently retooled in 2011 and opened it up to the public through and expand beyond the limited private funding of Home Value Solutions. So the program itself is a combination of many years of research inside of generational effects of money. I mean, this is some of the stuff that we actually teach in the program. This is why the program works, why we can actually create progress for families, is because of what this research has created. So here's the American dilemma. You guys all probably know this information, but I'll just go through it just to kind of refresh ourselves. Home ownership means more to the American family than just a few tax advantages. It supports confidence in oneself and in the marketplace. When people know that they can live in this home and they can provide for themselves and they've got that stable base camp, then they often take a little bit more risk when it comes to maybe starting a business or expanding their business. I mean, this is what business owners do. They'll hire more people because they know that they're safe when it comes to their housing situation. They'll be a little better in the workplace. They have a higher aptitude for whatever skill they're needing to express in their workplace. And so they do a lot better. It creates a sure foundation for personal growth, learning, and innovation. Home ownership is at the foundation of true freedom and independence. That's at the basics of pretty much the American economy. It's like, hey, you can own a home. The American dream, why do they call it American dream? Because that's something that's not available in every other country. That you can actually own the land that you're living on. You can plant your own stuff, you can paint your bathroom black if you want. You can do that kind of thing. Whereas in most countries, it's not really acceptable. So where are we today? Record-breaking home problems, foreclosures, short sales, common transaction today. I mean, that's just crazy. You think about even 4 years ago, short sale, they're thinking, oh, well, that's when it happens faster. It's a cash buyer. That's a short sale. That's what we thought a short sale was. But now today, we know what a short sale is. Negative equities. Lots of negative equities, especially here in Arizona. Huge problem. Huge problem. Latent and vacant inventories. I know in my neighborhood in Power Ranch, there's actually a lot of homes that aren't for sale, but they're empty. And we can drive around in Casa Grande, we find a lot of neighborhoods like that. We go around in a lot of places, we're going to find a lot of homes that are vacant, not even on the inventory market yet, not even available, which is a little scary. So, more problems. The credit crunch, obviously, credit is hard to come by. It's not as easy as it was. There's certainly no B and C credit real buying opportunities available to the commonplace market. And we have a recession to boot, which means incomes are going down. People are telling me all the time, my wages have just been decreased. And that's kind of sad, but that's the reality of where we're at. So, why it's tough to buy, same things that you guys know. Here's the increased credit score requirements. We're at 600 plus, FHA 600 plus FICO score, conventional 680 or more. I mean, it's really tough. Under 600, FICO not even available. FHA right now, 3.5% with the 600 plus FICO score, 5% down at 760, 10% down at 680 or above. And so there's a lot more cash needed for transactions today too. I mean, sure, back in the, what was it, back in the 1920s, I think, an 80-20 loan was you put 80% down and the bank gave you 20% mortgage. That was the old 80-20, and then we got to the 80-20s where it was 100% financed, you know, a few years ago, and now we're back to basically the real 80-20s now that are pretty much 20% down and you get an 80% mortgage. That's pretty normal now. A lot of banks under conventional financing, they're actually requiring 20% down, aren't they? A little tough to do. Thank goodness the home prices have come down significantly, right? So clients are being blacklisted by banks. Have you experienced that? Clients, they go and try to get financing and they say, oh, you had a foreclosure, I'm sorry, we can't fund you for 24 months or 36 months. Come back to us and, oh, a bankruptcy, maybe 7 years. I mean, I'm still hearing people telling me 7 years, even though I know that's not actually true. You can get people funded on after bankruptcy within 3 years, sometimes 2, but it's still general rules and it still shows up for 7 years at a minimum. So it's a pretty tough deal. Short sales typically eliminates your ability to buy 2 to 3 year minimum. Foreclosures, all-time high, 3 to 7 year wait is typical. No real end in sight.